The 2025 NASCAR Cup Series season being one of the more tainted NASCAR seasons in recent history, and the playoff format of yesterday officially annexed for the chase, I thought it would be fun to take a look at who would be the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series champion using different points formats or championship formats. So let's get into it. We're going to be starting out with the 1950s Formula One points format. And for people who don't know who gets what points, I'll tell you right now because that was 76 years ago. So for the points, first place gets 8 points, second place gets 6 points, third place gets 4 points, fourth place gets 3 points, fifth place gets 2 points, and you get 1 point for the fastest lap. So if you finish 6th or later and you don't get the fastest lap, you get no points on the day. Now, I did include drivers who are part-time as well if they got in the position to get said points. So Jimmy Johnson, who only raced in a single race, the 2025 Daytona 500, he ended up finishing higher than Zane Smith, Noah Gragson, Ricky Stenhouse, Ty Dillon, Riley Herbst, and Cody Ware, with Ware, Herbst, and Ty Dillon all receiving 0 points during the course of the season. And no, I'll spoil it for you right now, this is not the only time Ware and Herbst get 0 points. Moving up to the next best drivers, Austin Cindric, Ryan Preece, and Austin Dillon all fell massively from where they ended up in the 2025 playoff format, while Todd Gilliland, Cole Custer, and Justin Haley all finished relatively in the same positions. For the next group of 10, Ty Gibbs would crack the top 16, which he did not do in real life, while most of the playoff drivers would finish similarly to real life. And then for the top 10 drivers, Brad Keselowski would make it into the top 10 after finishing outside of the top 16 in real life, while William Byron finishes outside the top 4 and Christopher Bell would take his place. On the other hand, Denny Hamlin would end up being the winner by a good margin to Kyle Larson, so that's 1 point to the hamster. The drivers who gained the most from this format would be Keselowski and Daniel Suarez, who would jump 10 places, then Gibbs and Carson Hocevar, who gained 5 places, and finally SVG with 4 places gained. The biggest fallers would be Austin Dillon with 10, Cindric with 7, and Logano, Preece, and Busch all losing 6 spots. After the 1950s F1 points format, Hamlin has 1 title win while Larson has 0. Next up is the current Formula One system where first place would get 25 points, second place would get 18 points, third place would get 15 points, fourth would get 12 points, fifth would get 10 points, sixth would get 8 points, seventh would get 6 points, eighth would get 4 points, ninth would get 2 points, and 10th would get 1 point, and no points would be awarded for the fastest lap. For the bottom 10, Herbst and Ware would finish with 0 points, Austin Hill and Justin Allgaier would make it on the list with 2 points each, and Corey Heim would make it to 35th with 8 points, and again, Johnson would finish above Ty Dillon, Herbst, and Ware with a total of 15 points. For the next 10, Austin Dillon and Cindric would again see themselves falling down the order, and Busch would end up doing well for himself in 21st. For the top 20, Gibbs and Keselowski would again see themselves making the playoffs, which they didn't do in the IRL playoff format, and Suarez would again see himself jumping up a bunch of spots. Inside the top 10, the top 7 would all be the same as the 1950s F1 format, but Alex Bowman would make it inside the top 8, and Shane Van Gisbergen and Bubba Wallace would round out the top 10. Hamlin, again, would take the win in this format for a sweep so far in this video, but that won't stay that way for long. For your biggest movers, Suarez, Bowman, Keselowski, Chris Buescher, and Hocevar would gain the most, while Austin Dillon, Cindric, Joey Logano, Ross Chastain, Herbst, and Ware would lose the most spots. Going back to our championship tally, after the F1 points formats, Hamlin has 2 title wins, while Larson has 0. The third points format we're going to be looking at is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, where first place gets 15 points, second place gets 12, and then third through 12th will decrease by 1 each place, starting with 10 points for third. For the third points format in a row, Herbst and Ware both get 0 points, with Connor Zilic joining the field in 39th, getting 2 points in 4 races. For the top 30, Austin Dillon and Cindric both fall tremendously without a win in format, while Suarez finally gets nerfed to 22nd place. For the top 20, Keselowski stays making it into the top 16, with Preece finally making the top 16 for the first time in this video. In the top 10, Kyle Larson will take his first trophy of the video, followed by Bell and Hamlin, with Ryan Blaney making the top 4 for the first time. For the biggest movers in this format, Buescher, Keselowski, Bowman, Nemechek, and Hocevar gain the most, while Austin Dillon, Cindric, Logano, Herbst, and Ware lose the most places. After the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe format, Hamlin would have 2 titles, while Larson grabs his first of the video. For the penultimate points format that we are going to be looking at is the newish Mario Kart World, where first place gets 15 points, second place gets 12 points, third place gets 10 points, and then fourth and fifth place gets 9 points, sixth and seventh place gets 8 points, eighth and ninth place gets 7 points, 10th through 12th gets 6 points, 13th through 15th gets 5 points, 16th through 18th gets 4 points, 19th through 21st gets 3 points, 22nd and 23rd get 2 points, and finally, 24th place gets 1 point. For the top 38, Cody Ware stays at the bottom of the standings with Heim and Johnson above him, while Herbst makes his first points of the video, finishing in 35th place with 43 points. For the top 30, Austin Dillon still falls, with Hocevar not being inside the top 20 for the first time in this video. In the top 20, Busch almost makes it into the top 16, while Cindric and SVG fall a bit. In the top 10, Christopher Bell takes his first championship win, followed by Larson, Briscoe, and Hamlin. And Byron would fall all the way to 7th in this format, while Reddick surges to 8th. Your biggest winners of the Mario Kart World format would be Buescher, Suarez, Preece, Keselowski, and Bell, while Austin Dillon, Josh Berry, SVG, Cindric, Byron, Bubba, and Logano would be your biggest losers. After Mario Kart World, Hamlin has 2 title wins, Larson has 1, and Christopher Bell, surprisingly or not surprisingly, grabs his first of the video. The final points format we're going to be looking at in this video is MotoGP, where first place gets 25 points, second place gets 20 points, third place gets 16 points, fourth place gets 13 points, and then 5th through 15th all decrease by 1 point per place, starting with 5th place, who gets 11 points. For the top 41, Herbst and Ware both get points, with Cody Ware besting Riley Herbst for the first time this video. Zilic, Hill, Allgaier, Heim, and Johnson all finish above Ware and Herbst, but Ty Dillon finally gets out of Heim and Johnson's shadow in 34th place. In the top 30, Austin Dillon and Austin Cindric stay losing a ton of spots, sitting at 29th and 24th respectively. The top 20 sees Preece make the top 16 again alongside Keselowski, and Berry, who made the top 16 during the 2025 playoff format, would miss out, finishing 18th and 28 points off of Preece in 16th. The final 10 drivers would see Christopher Bell scrape out a title versus Kyle Larson, while Hamlin would finish 3rd and Bowman would stay making the top 8 again. The biggest winners of the MotoGP points format were Buescher, Suarez, Keselowski, Bowman, and Hocevar, while the biggest losers were again Austin Dillon, Cindric, Logano, Ware, and Herbst. That final win for Christopher Bell put him equal with Denny Hamlin and gave him one more title than Larson. meaning we're going to have to come back to this subject in a future video to decide who is the better champion. And that's it for who would be the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series champion using different points formats. As always, like, subscribe, and comment what points formats you want me to use in the next video. Thank you for watching again, and peace out.